Had to go all the
We
way
don't
around.
want to have to go around.
Yeah,
We don't want you
exactly.
scaling fences or anything.
No,
Okay, now we're live.
Okay. Good evening and welcome to the November 9th meeting of the Zoning Board of Appeals for the City of Bowling Green. I'm going to caution everyone tonight because our court reporter is recording this from the Zoom, so please make sure that you're always talking into the microphone and that you're speaking very clearly so that she can pick it up. Having said that, I will go over how the meeting works. I'm sure you remember it. You are asking us to take an existing zoning rule and change it for you. In order for us to do that, you must present why you want it, why not being granted would be a hardship for you. We will ask you to be sworn in so that you can testify and when you testify, we'd like you to come to the podium and state your name and your address. And then again, as I said, please talk into the microphone. The board will ask you questions. And then we will close the public hearing and the board, all four of us will discuss it amongst ourselves. We will come back into a public hearing and you will know right away tonight whether or not your request for your variance has been granted. If it is not granted, you have the option of going to the Court of Common Pleas. Since there isn't anybody else here for any kind of a lobby call, would you please stand now to be sworn in? Raise your right hand. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you God? Thank you. Okay, the first order of business is approval of the minutes from the October 12th meeting. As they were mailed out, may I have a motion?
Move to approve.
Second,
seconded.
all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. That was quick. This request is Mr. and Mrs. Sextoni, 837 Tomahawk Lane, have requested a variance to allow the construction of a 6-foot tall fence in the 25-foot front yard setback, corner lot. Fence would be in the front yard that faces TP Street, which should be 2 feet taller than the 4-foot maximum allowed. Heather?
Thank you. Under the zoning code, section 150.91, a fence erected on a lot line or within a setback may not exceed in height the following. Under section B, 4 feet when placed within a required front yard setback, but must not be installed in such a manner as to violate section 150.05, which is a visibility triangle. This is obviously the second time, so you might remember this request, but they did amend the sketch so it doesn't include the visibility triangle this time. So in this circumstance, it's only that corner lot with being on one of the front yards of the home. Under section 150.16 bulk and density, this is where we get the minimum setback requirement for the front yard of 25 feet for the R2 single family district. So that technically is the front yard again on that corner lot. Here's an aerial view of the property. So you can see it's a newer home and the house is not shown there yet, but that tells you what, basically it has the gypsy lane. That would be their rear yard technically. And then again, you'll see the corner lot there on TP and Tomahawk. Using pictometry, you can see the rear of the home. That would be where Gypsy Lane is behind there. And then here's the side, that'd be the TP Street. And then here's the front, Tomahawk. And then here's the other side of the home. Here's a picture of the front of the house. Here's a picture looking down this other front there, which would be the TP. And that would be another view of over there's Gypsy Lane. Another view there of the right at the corner. Another view looking down the rear yard and the sidewalk. And then this would be facing north into the subdivision. This is looking the other way, just to give you an idea what that looks like on the other side of the road. And then here is looking onto their TP, looking there south towards Gypsy. And that's just to give you an idea of the stop sign. And that could be moved if the public works director would like us to do so, or we would request that could be moved. There is quite of a large right of way there. And then here's the amended sketch. You'll see the 6 foot here where it juts out in front of the house. That is where the variance is required. And you can see the visibility triangle there is cut out, so it would basically go diagonal there. We did not receive any phone calls or written correspondence. Let's see, I'll read my statement here. An advertisement was placed in the newspaper of general circulation as required. A site notice was placed at the site. The other notices required by the administrative code were posted in the proper time and location. A letter was mailed, first class mailed to the tax mailing address of the owner and adjoining property owners. Therefore, all the procedure requirements for the hearing have been met.
Thank you. Sir?
Good evening, everyone. My name is Manoj Saxena.
Want to talk into the mic so the reporter can hear you?
Yeah. Good evening, everyone. My name is Manoj Saxena. So I'm here for the variance request for the variance, and most likely all of you remember what during last variance meeting there were 4 points I had on my application, and I still have those 4 points. That smaller fence cannot provide privacy to the family. When we sit outside, it looks like we are like sitting in the open ground, and there is no privacy at all. And when I built the house before that, I never expected that the fence cannot be only can be this high and not that high, and there will be no privacy. Otherwise, I would not have gone for that house at all. But so this is a big hardship for me because I built the house and I cannot sit outside. That's a big hardship.
Okay. Members of the board have any questions? Let me ask you.
I have no questions.
The only question I have is, when you place the fence along Gypsy, is the fence going to encompass the existing pine trees that were planted there by the developer, or is it not including those trees?
Trees will be inside.
Okay.
Have you considered trees rather than this fence? Have you considered any type of foliage along there? I mean, I
thought
see
that,
several homes.
yeah,
that
but
have-
I read the city recommendation that any foliage is also considered as a fence. If I try to have fence of trees, that is also not considered as a fence. But I mean, that is considered as a fence, and I cannot have the line of trees to prevent the work as a fence for me.
Heather, is that true? Do they consider trees a line of fence?
Not to my
Not
knowledge.
to
We
my
haven't.
knowledge either,
Yeah.
because I have that at my home. And
But if I try to block that, that will be considered. I have read that.
Anybody have any other
Can-
questions?
Can you
Comments?
go back to some of the pictures down that sidewalk?
Absolutely. Just tell me when you're.
Keep going right there. Hold on.
That's the opposite way.
I know, but it's basically that sidewalk still comes right up that line.
Yeah,
Yes.
Are there trees in front of your house now? See how those trees are?
Yeah, yeah.
Down your
there-
side of that sidewalk,
There
are
are two
those
of them.
trees there?
Two of them, yes.
Right there's one.
right there.
that's
right
them
there's
too?
one, and then there's another one.
Yeah, there is another one. One was removed because of the sidewalk was not obstructing. That tree was obstructing, so it was removed. So there are only two now.
Okay, go back again one time, Heather, the other way, one more time. Okay, so those trees are on the inside also. But, so you're gonna encompass, your fence will pick those trees up, bring them inside.
Inside, yes.
I think it's
So
just like
there's
this
a
one.
privacy fence just on the other side of those trees.
Right.
6 foot
Yeah, down there. Mhm.
down there.
Right, so that kept that aesthetic going
Mhm.
down along there
Mhm.
versus you're gonna pick those up and now they're gonna be inside.
I'm ready either way. I can, if
Yeah.
you say trees have to be outside, I will pray.
No. I'm not telling you either way. That's not for me to say to
No,
do
but-
that.
What is recommended, I can do that.
You can amend the variance or say that.
But I'm still following the guidelines that
Mhm.
I'm still within on my property, and I'm leaving for about 4 feet for the trees. And then including the trees inside. I think there is no guideline to include or not include the trees.
It's not.
Anybody have any other questions or comments before I close? the
Only
public
comment,
hearing?
yeah, the only comment I got is, I believe that he has, came back and pretty much did what we asked by doing that triangle, eliminating that triangle, because that was one of our main concerns, was that I'm all for him having the privacy.
And don't,
That's-
I'm with you.
You weren't, yeah, you weren't
No,
here when.
No, I was.
Oh,
He
you were?
did, he did exactly what we
Yes,
asked. So
yes.
I was just curious if he was going to encompass those trees, they built it there. So there was an aesthetic continuation along there. But he satisfied what we asked for. So I wouldn't, that wouldn't be fair to say, hey, now we want to add on to the pile.
And my other comment, if I may, Madam,
Sure.
is I have the same feeling you have, Dave, about what I don't want to see is Fort Knox along there, and that's what's going to wind up happening.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Everybody that's going to build is going to want another 6-foot
Mhm.
fence or 10-foot or whatever they're going to go for, but it's going to look like a stockade all the way
Absolutely.
along there.
Yep.
And the developer had planned to have those trees be the barrier so that it would be more aesthetically pleasing. I have a problem though that we already have, we haven't, but someone has permitted a
Right.
fence to be
Yes.
installed at the very end of
Mhm.
that development that encompasses those trees. So we've already started that
Right.
setting. But I do feel that it's going to be an
Nice
unfortunate,
door.
yeah, well, I didn't say that, but
It will be. I have no problem suggesting that he puts the trees on the, keeps the trees on the outside. It's just a suggestion. Because
Okay.
that would at least make it more uniform along
Mhm.
there.
That's what I was looking at also,
Yeah,
is they brought that along there so that there would be a uniformity in looks. And even if there was a fence behind them at some point, those arborvitaes will make a thing.
yeah,
There's
they
a
will.
place along Gypsy Lane that has just that. The arborvitaes are that. They've grown to a great height and they look nice. At some point, those same trees, those that have a hard time going that
yeah,
far
those are
apart,
trees.
they're too widespread apart,
Right.
but it's the same principle.
It's the same
And that's
principle.
exactly
bringing-
what I have in my
they're bringing
driveway,
in
so,
An
It's the
aesthetic
same
point
principle.
yep.
that the fence behind it is kind of not completely masked, but you lose some of that. And it's so that, again, he's satisfied what we asked for. So trying to dog pile on, I'm not sure I agree.
Mr. Sexton, do you have any problems keeping the fence
The
behind?
the only
trees?
thing is that will leave very little area
Right.
for us. There will be hardly any benefit of having a fence
Mhm.
Right.
for a job when we can't even use that.
It would be small.
So it will be a very small too. I mean, that will be
Mhm.
defeating the purpose of having the fence there.
Yeah.
Anybody else have any questions or comments? All right. We're going to come back into the public hearing. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
May I have a motion?
I move that we vote. Oh,
No, you, no, you move that for the
Whatever you want
variance
to
is
have.
requested.
I move to vote on the variance request.
Okay. Is there a second?
Seconded.
All right, the motion has been made and seconded. Will the secretary call the roll, please?
Okay, here we go. Jay Sockman,
Yes.
Judy Ennis.
No.
Dave Flieger,
Yes.
Bobby Johnson. Yes.
Your request for your variance was granted. Thank you. Is there any other, any lobby discussion or anybody have any discussion?
I just wanted to make you aware that the city council is still reviewing the proposed zoning code. And their next work session is Monday, November 21st at 5:30 here in this room. So just trying to keep you all engaged and let you know that that process is still ongoing. So that's the latest.
Date and time again. I apologize.
November 21st at 5:30. So before the regular
Before the city
scheduled
council
council meeting.
Okay.
Mhm. So that was it.
That's your whole planning, the whole report.
That is it. Normally I give a long one for planning commission, not zoning board.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Wrong commission.
Wrong party here.
Next time.
From you, but
It's online.
Yes, this is on
online.
our city website. So if you go to www.bgohio.org/meetings, all the YouTube meetings for the city come up. So you're welcome.
And you'll see yourself on TV. All right, may I have a motion for adjournment?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Meeting is adjourned. Don't